Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to This Dude Bakes. I've got a great peanut butter cookie recipe for you here today. So I'm going to start it off. What I've got here is a half cup of firmly packed brown sugar, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup or 1 stick, which is 4 ounces of softened butter, 1/2 cup of peanut butter, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of milk, 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And what I also have here for the end when I scoop the cookies out is a little sugar that I'm going to dip my fork in to make the classic fork mark on the top of the peanut butter cookie. So here we go. First I'm going to put in the brown sugar and the granulated sugar and the butter. I'm just going to cream that until it's light and fluffy. Okay, so now you can see in the bowl what it looks like when it's light and fluffy. Now I'm going to add my egg, my 2 tablespoons of milk, and my 1/2 cup of butter, peanut butter, excuse me, my 1/2 cup of peanut butter. And now I'm going to blend that in pretty well. And if you have one of these plastic hand scrapers, you want to stop it for a minute in the middle, scrape it down just a little bit. And then just continue blending it for another minute or so. Okay, now I'm going to add my 1 3/4 cup all-purpose flour and my 1 teaspoon of baking soda and my 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix it on low for just a little bit to get it incorporated. And then I'll turn it up to a little higher speed just for the last about 2 minutes of mixing. Okay. Okay, now taking it off the mixer, and I'm going to scoop this onto an ungreased cookie sheet. And you may have seen in another video before, I highly recommend these silver baking sheets if you can get your hands on them. You can get them at like Sam's Club, Costco, Smart and Final, and some other restaurant supply stores, maybe even some of the grocery stores. But one of the reasons I recommend these is that they're really sturdy, and the pans that come with the dark gray coating and the black coating, if you don't watch your product very carefully, they can burn your product very easily on the bottom for some reason. So I like these pans here. And I usually like to use the ice cream scoop with my cookies. Just makes it really fast for me, makes them really uniform. And what I like to do with these peanut butter cookies is take a little granulated sugar, dip the fork in it, and press them down to make that classic fork mark that you see in a lot of peanut butter cookies. Maybe not so much now, but you used to see it a lot with the peanut butter cookies back in the day. There's something else you can do when you do this with your peanut butter cookies. If you take just a little bit extra sugar, you just sprinkle just a little bit extra where you made those groove marks with the forks. Get a little bit extra caramelization, a little bit more flavor when they go in the oven. So that's what they look like with the fork marks in them before they go in the oven. I'm going to bake these off and finish scooping the rest of them, and when it's time for them to come out of the oven, I'll be back with the reveal. Okay, so now I'm ready for the reveal on the peanut butter cookies coming out of the oven. That's how they look. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. And I'm just going to let these stand here for a minute before I take them off with a spatula. One of the things I failed to mention earlier in the video was that I put them in the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's for about 10 to 12 minutes. And that's the result that you get. And as far as the ice cream scoop goes, the size that I used is about 1 3/4 inches wide. You can see how big of a cookie that makes. So if you want that size, you can use that size scoop. You can make them bigger, smaller, according to your preferences. You can use your hands, or you can just use teaspoons to make the size cookies that you want. But this was the result of that ice cream scoop. So what we do now is scoop some of these off. onto this plate. And that'll show you what they're look like. They're just broken into when they're hot. And there they are on the plate. Okay, thanks again for watching, everybody. I really appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you soon with another video. Have a good day. Thank you.